try that again. Something like forgetting it's a holiday, but it's a weekday, and having your weekly alarms set when you don't need them. Anyways, just gonna focus on, we're doing a razor battle today if you've not been following along. I have a Charcoal Goods 3rd generation level 3 and a Yates H plate, the 921 H plate here. They're both, to make things as even as possible, they both have first use personas because it's Memorial Day. So I couldn't use a Vietnamese or a Russian blade today. And they both have these Razor Rock barber pole handles to make even things out of it. I had them both on hand. They're both on hand being borrowed, so I figured why not make it as even as possible. So same weighted handle, the only difference being, the gold here and the chrome here, or the stainless, I should say. They're both stainless steel. The introduction to the other video is better, but we can't live in the past. So I'm going to use those today. In the interest of my own attention span and time, I am going to, once I've done my introduction here and everything, just focus on shaving, and I'll make a comment here and there. It's going to be just a straight film video, so there's going to be some edits there to make things flow a little better probably, but anyways. Soap wise, I've been sitting on this one for a bit. I have Elysian soaps, green fig. So it's, it's almost the end of spring here. So, and I've been sitting on this for a week or two waiting to do a video with it. So I haven't used this at all yet. This was the first use of it today, as you can see there. And I just, it's green fig, spring. This is a springtime scent that Shannon put out, so I figured today was the day, even though it's gonna break 90 today, and then it's gonna drop back down into like the 70s and stuff, but I figured we're here, let's do it. So I'm gonna get everything going. I'll be back when I'm ready to get the shave, so yeah. Alright, as you can see, it's still a lather bomb. If you're not familiar with Elysian soap, then you evidently did not see our inaugural 2 Bits series on the channel, so go find that. She's a relatively new artisan on the scene who makes a really great 5 out of 5 spoilers GroomsMen approved soap. So I figured, since I'm a little on the fence about one of these razors, that it made sense to use a soap that all groomsmen approve of. So just a nice, clean, figgy spring scent. She does a really good job with her scents, especially the gourmand ones, but this is good. If you can get your hands on this still, I would. So at least at the time of the video is being made, the Rex ambassador still runs the table for Fayez and his shave den, which has then been upset as of late by the Yates 921 H plate, which I'm borrowing from Jonathan, which kicked the Charcoal Goods level 3 down a peg, which was in the 2nd place. So, which I'm borrowing from Fayez, of course. So I'm just gonna think to give us, I didn't have my favorite shave ever with the Yates, so I'm gonna keep the Yates on this side to give it a little advantage there, and we'll use the Charcoal Goods on my non-dominant side. I had one of the best shaves of my life with the Charcoal Goods and the Yates. So the only thing I'm gonna try to change today is that Fayez thinks I should use a steeper angle when shaving with this to see if I can avoid some of the things that I was not enjoying about it. So let's just go. Well, definitely getting more blade feel this time around. I did wipe that out. I will still say, so just to reference my other video for the Yates, I compared it to the only other Yates made razor I've used, which is the Winning razor, which some people, myself included, believe has some drag issues. Definitely feel like I'm engaging more with the blade, so that might have been my fault. In the other video, I don't think I realized that it might require a steeper angle. That might be a deal breaker for me though too, because I like to just autopilot. Yeah, so the thought being that getting into the cap more here is what's causing that drag. But I'm still feeling it, guys. I don't know. That was something I believe.
Daddy.
Yes, Jordan? Oh, really? Thank you. Did you guys hear that? Thank you for telling me, Jordan. Love you. That's my almost 2-year-old. So, this is a good shave still. I just, even going back to like, I haven't used the brass bird, obviously, in a long time. And you had to do an angle adjustment for that as well. And I can't remember if it was right in the cap or the guard. But I just felt that was a much more intuitive process for me. There's a lot of blade feel and everything, obviously, but I didn't dislike it. So let's see if the charcoal goods is still as good as it was the other day. You can just hear the difference. I mean, there's no question. I'd say they're about even in that regard, but I'm enjoying the shave with this much more. Getting more feedback from the CG level 3. It's just more in my wheelhouse, I think. I mean, obviously we gotta do, I have soap in my ear. Obviously we gotta do additional passes here, but yeah, I'm finding this smoother and more enjoyable thus far. But I will say the shades are about equal to this point. So let's hit it again, line it up, do it again, and see how we do on the subsequent passes there. All right, so relathered here. I didn't experience as much drag with the Yates against the grain, which I found strange then too. And I will say I didn't experience any facial irritation with the Yates, which I didn't experience any facial irritation with the winning razor when I borrowed it either. So I just don't want people to think that I'm saying that this isn't a good razor, especially compared to the one I'm using today. I'm just saying, this is a good shave. I'm just saying that I prefer, thus far, the shaving process with the charcoal goods. And trust me, I'd much rather, from an affordability standpoint, be preferring the shave with the Yates. Especially considering I would probably just buy a head and not a handle. When you buy charcoal goods, the handle is half the fun and a pretty good chunk of the cost. All right. I mean, that's damn good, guys. Don't get me wrong. But the goods so far is just edging it ever. It's not even close. I'm not gonna pretend it's. The shaves are super close, but the shaving process. Ugh. For me, it's just getting to feel what it's doing. And what's really weird, and I know I just shaved the side, but like even just like the slickness left over from the soap and everything is more on the charcoal good side. Like I feel like the Yates is getting more of it, but it's doing less with it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna give it home field advantage. It's giving me the auditory feedback I prefer and the physical blade feel efficiency feedback I prefer. It's smooth. And I'm very fortunate to be in a position to not have to have bought one of these or the other. I'm borrowing the cost of shipping basically these razors. So I mean it's evenly, I'm giving a slight, I prefer the way this side feels to this side. I'm giving a slight edge still to the goods. I'm gonna try to do some sort of pickups pass here. I don't want to do a full third with either of them right now. I really don't have time. I really don't have time to do that. I got to start grilling soon. We're going to. But gonna leave the neck alone. Just do this part. I never go across the grain on my neck though, because the irritation level is just too guaranteed. For middling results, honestly. Yeah, if you want a nice green, spring, figgy, mildly fruity really, scented soap, get one of these while they're still there. And I have her, she did send me an updated splash of alcohol that I haven't used because I want to use it with the matching soap, which is the Sherry Tobacco. So I'm not going to use that today. I'm just going to do my own thing. But see here. Getting more blade feel in this pass. Not really a pickups pass, more of a bridged third pass. But really the drag that I'm experiencing, that's a good shave, guys, is really only super noticeable with an angle change you have to do in the with the grain. So I mean, it's pretty even, but again, from just splitting hairs over comfort and enjoyment, I feel like I can really fly with the charcoal goods. Whereas I feel like I'm always, especially with that with the grain, gonna have to I'm gonna concede a point on the stash area to the Yates. So there's no point system here. I'm not making one up or anything on the fly, but I mean, between the two, this is a really amazing shave. I just think I prefer the charcoal goods a little bit more. And again, it's in brass, and maybe I should be using the Yates in brass and everything, because a lot of people named Fias think that the brass razors, especially from the Blackland family, shave smoother. So let me clean all this up, come back, and go get final thoughts here. So, where am I at with this? I will say that, so Sack doesn't really call it with the winning or the America drag. He's calling it like a suction, which I think it's like, it's basically the glass half empty, glass half full way of looking at it. Glass half full or half empty, I'm gonna say it's drag. Glass half full, you can call it, suction. Still not something that I'm super interested in having for some reason. It just doesn't suit me. Now, changing that angle to being steeper with the Yates today did, in my experience here today, reduce that suction dragging feel a bit on that with the grain. But again, I don't have to do that with the charcoal goods. So just with, I mean, this is damn even right here. I'm gonna use that charcoal goods one more time before I send it back or send it along to Scott. But just from my personal preference and what I want out of a shave, I feel like I'm giving the edge to the charcoal goods. I still think that Yates is a fantastic razor. I think it's something that you should pick up, especially before you get a charcoal goods, because maybe that suction thing, maybe it's my skin, maybe it's my, there's a lot of potential factors there, but I'm not experiencing it with the charcoal goods. But just from an investment standpoint, get one, borrow one, get one, try. Yeah, I'm almost done. Try the winning razor, try the America, whatever. But I really enjoy the charcoal goods, and I want to enjoy the Yates more because it's a more reasonable option. That's more realistic of me getting one, especially in a sooner rather than later kind of thing. That being said, I still think they're both great shavers. My preference just happens to lean towards charcoal goods. This is like dead even right here. It was a much better shave today than I experienced with the Yates the other day though. So, I mean, it's up to you, it's preference. I say if you can, especially a lot of these places, I think Yates, they have you know, some sort of, when you buy it directly from them, some sort of, you know, 30-day policy. If you don't like it, send it back kind of thing. So, you know, that's the thing with charcoal goods, is they're hard to come by, especially at reasonable prices. So, yeah. I say try the Yates first, and if you're experiencing the things that I'm calling negatives about it, and you're experiencing them as negatives as opposed to just, you know, character traits of the razor, then you have your answer. But I think they're both great. I think I'm really lucky that I got to try them both, especially at the same time. So thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, Fayez, and thank you, Christian, for lending me the Game Changer, because if you had not, then I would not be able to run them with the same handle. And yeah, those are my thoughts on it, I think. And again, springtime's over, but this is just a great scent. Like, if you ever just want something fresh, you know, nice and green, I would say the green fig from Elysian is a winner. All right, I'm gonna go cut this video up, and as always, we appreciate you coming by. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time.